to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming tonight. Due to some additional unforeseen circumstances, Mayor Madela will not be attending this evening. We wish him our best. So we will call the meeting of January 3rd, 2017 Depoe Bay City Council in order. Please call the roll.
Rustenhoven. Here. Wiseman.
Here.
Gambino.
Here.
Mathala. Bates.
Here.
Grant.
And first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of December 20th, 2016 regular meeting.
Council President, I recommend that we approve the Depoe Bay City Council regular meeting minutes of Tuesday, December 20th, 2016, as written.
Second.
We moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Pardon me, who seconded? Oh,
Aye.
thank you. Rustenhoven. Abstain. Wiseman.
Yes.
Gambino.
Yes.
Bates.
Yes.
Grant.
And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to call up to the chair, the mayor-elect, Barbara Lapp. And administering the oath of office will be Mr. Pete Gigner.
Stay standing. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Barbara Leff,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of
of
America
the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon
and the laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
and will faithfully and honorably demean myself in the office of Mayor, City of Depoe Bay,
Mayor, City of Depoe Bay,
to which I have been elected
to which I have been elected
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. The first thing on the agenda is a big thank you to the counselors who will be leaving the platform. The first of whom is Robert. And Robert stepped in during a very difficult period for the city, and he has done a masterful job of managing the meetings and helping the whole city get through a very difficult time, and we owe him a special debt of thank you. So this is in much appreciation.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Jeanette, I did not have the chance to get to know you. But we appreciate your service very much and hope that you will not be a stranger.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
This is a plaque for AJ, and it reads, "Presented to AJ Madela in recognition and appreciation of your service to the city of Depoe Bay as mayor, January 2013 to December 2016. AJ is not with us. As you all may know, he's having a really difficult time right now. We wish him the best, and we hope that he will recover quickly and come join us again. So thank you, AJ. Now, we're going to take about 3 minutes to permit the new counselors to come and take their place around the table. We'll then swear them in, and then we will move forward with the meeting. So, Debbie,
Lauren,
Lauren, thank you.
Charlie and Jeff are up.
Charlie and Jeff are already here.
Lauren, you're gonna be up next to Barbara.
Sitting by the teacher.
Hey guys, there are a couple of seats right up front. Yes. The first two on this end are both empty. Okay. You want to be, yes, would the counselors all please rise? All the counselors.
May I,
Yeah.
can we change these,
Yes.
I mean, for pictures?
Yeah, we have it ready.
See why he was such, he's really important to us. Mr. Robert.
You're still his wife. That's it.
Didn't want to give yours up.
Okay.
All right, this will be tough. You just have to remember your own name. Everybody's ready. I state your name.
I, Depoe
You solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon
and the laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
and will faithfully and honorably
and will faithfully and honorably
demean myself
demean myself
in the office of council member,
in the office of council member,
City of Depoe Bay,
City of Depoe Bay,
to which I have been elected
to which I have been elected
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Okay, I think we can move forward now. I was going to say a few words. Matt, did you happen to bring the,
Madam Mayor, I just wanted to make one clear. Because the audience did see me swear myself in because I've already been sworn in. I'm still serving the last 2 years of my
right,
my
I
office.
understand.
Okay.
Okay,
Mayor,
yes,
now, the oaths of office all need to be signed by each individual and then
okay.
witnessed by Mr. Gittner. So we can do that now and take a little break, or we can do it after the meeting?
Actually, we can do that while I
Okay.
say a few words. Okay? You can sign them and just pass them around. May I have that? I have something really important to say. During the course of the campaign, a lot of people asked me over and over again why I chose to run for office. And I've told you all the reasons I decided to run. Well, as it happened, this morning I was at the sewer plant and talking with the folks there, and they were telling me the tale of Black Friday, which I will tell you very briefly in a moment for those who don't know it. And everything came together for me about why I wanted to be mayor of Depoe Bay. I hear a phone ringing. Okay. This is the life ring from the Raptor. On Black Friday, you may recall, it was pouring rain. It was a horrible day all up and down the coast. I am told that 9 boats up and down the coast were sunk. One of those was the Raptor in our harbor. From the minute it sunk, Matt was working all by himself. I don't know, did you call one of the guys? Yeah. He called Pogo, and that was all it took. All of the guys showed up down at the waterfront. They spent all day in the pouring rain figuring out how to get that boat off the bottom and out of the water so that the water would stay safe. Well, guess what? That's a team I want to be part of. That's the perfect example of why I wanted to be mayor of Depoe Bay. I want to work with people like Matt everybody in that sewer plant and in the water plant, and everybody around this table who works at Depoe Bay. They're a great bunch of people, and working with them, we can help our town be a great town. It already is a great town. And I think our last council did some really good work, but we're going to do some great work now. So, that's the answer to the question. Have you got all your...
We are done.
Yay, how's that for timing? Thank you. May I give that to you? To return to Matt. Okay.
If I might add, also, the minimum move-in for a salvage outfit to raise that boat would be $40,000, and it goes up from there. So,
And
city staff did a great job.
And they saved us a lot of money and probably a lot of pollution, because I was told that they couldn't even get a crew here to do it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, just the stage was up to $40,000 just to get it.
so great job, guys, and I'm gonna try to be as good as you are. Okay, time to move on. I think we need to do a roll call to establish a quorum of the new council.
Calendar,
Here.
Wiseman,
Here.
Goddard,
Here.
Left,
Here.
Bates,
Here.
Grant.
Aye.
Good. The first item on the agenda is accounts payable. Now, normally Robert is the person who had been reviewing them, but he was unavailable this morning, and so I reviewed accounts payable on behalf of the council, and although this is a little odd, it is legal. I therefore move that we approve accounts payable as presented. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Calendar,
Yes.
Wiseman,
Yes.
Goddard,
Yes.
Left,
Yes?
Bates,
Yes.
Grant.
Aye.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is to look at the folks who have applied for positions on the Parks Commission, the Planning Commission, the Salmon Enhancement Commission, and the Traffic Safety Commission. And the first commission, there were 2 people who applied and 2 openings. And they are Michael Granite and Ron Gilliam. Michael's here.
Should I go
Do
first?
you want to come up? We all, these are people well known to most of the council. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about why you want to?
Well, I think it was 2 years ago I first joined at the suggestion of Ken White, who, most of you know, just recently moved, and I've just grown to really enjoy working with everyone there, and we've been able to really do a lot of great stuff, not just based off of the master plan, but just through the ideas that we have with this community. And one of the things I'm really excited about is myself, Hurry, and Bill, and kind of working together to, it's a very long-term plan, but to kind of create a Depoe Bay museum. And we're working on, right now it's the early stages, and we're trying to focus on getting everything set up so people who have memories or photographs or the like can come and take it and, have it preserved, and of course they'll get it back. So I really enjoy working with everyone there. Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for Michael?
I do want to say one more thing.
Yes.
I think it was that, I don't know which, it was the last council meeting, but the one before, I don't think that the city gave a thank you to, made a motion to give a thank you to Ken White for his service, and I know I can speak on behalf of everybody on the Parks Commission that that would be most appreciated, just on behalf of us. He's just been a tremendous help over the years. So.
Would someone like to move that we write a letter of appreciation to Ken?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll. Yes.
Well, I just think Ken, to dedicate member of the Parks Commission. I really, and it was an oversight that we did, I thought we did, and I really appreciate it.
It's something you do.
Yeah, I really appreciate you stepping up, Michael, thank you.
Yeah, very well.
Good. Call the roll, please.
Wiseman,
Yes.
Goddard,
Yes.
Left,
Yes?
Bates, Grant,
Aye.
Callender.
Yes. Okay, thank you,
Right.
Michael.
Very welcome.
I don't think Ron Gilliam is here. I think they left on their trip, haven't they?
Yeah.
I know Ron's been a long time member of the Parks Commission, and I think everyone here on council knows him pretty well. So we'll just move on then. The third person is Robert Hickerson.
He was not able to be here this evening,
Okay.
and he's also renewing, he's been on the.
He's another renewal, okay. Okay. Planning Commission, we have one renewal, and that is Jeff Spear, and I know he's here. Would you like to join us, Jeff?
Jeff Spear, 220 Southeast Hazleton Place here in Depoe Bay, and I just finished completing a term for a position with 3 on the Planning Commission, and I really, really enjoy work. I enjoy the people, and the challenge to find balance it all. Not people work, but questions of, land development, BRDs, housing, the whole bit. And I'd like a shot at serving my own 4-year term. Thank you.
Any questions for Jeff? No? Thank you, Jeff. Pogo applied for renewal on the Sound Enhancement Commission. Do you want to join us up here, Pogo?
Pogo Robinson, 825 East Collins. I guess the reason I'm involved in the salmon enhancement is, like you can see, salmon has always been an economic engine for the city. It means a lot for the economy. They kept my family, all my brothers and sisters, we were all fed by salmon. So it's pretty important to me. Bon Pond Reyes Jim Nairn started this about 35, 40 years ago. And it's kind of been my commitment to make sure this thing survives. My brother, we're very active in this, and that's why I'm here to do it.
Does anyone have anything they want to ask Pogo? Yeah.
Just a curiosity, Pogo, do we have any metrics for how many, measurements of how many of the salmon that we fin clip and from our little project up there actually return?
Well, if on a typical thing, if you got 1% return, but our fish are clipped, so we're not really going for a return. We're just going for fish for people to catch.
Okay.
And that's primarily what we're doing, is raising fish for people to catch, not for the return. And we do get some return. We got 10 fish a year, like going up North Creek, that's good. South Creek has a pretty healthy return on its own. And we've kind of changed our release method now that we are releasing over on the south side instead of keeping them up in the reservoir. And it seems like this last spring, we were down in the bay and we saw a big school of salmon around an outfall eating stuff, and that was real encouraging because those fish only came from one place, and that's out of that South Creek there, over by the dam.
Yes.
I'd like to point out too that there have been more than one year recently that the number of fish that our salmon enhancement program has produced right here in sunny downtown Depoe Bay has been equivalent to the quota of fish allowed for take from Cape Falcon to Humbug Mountain.
So it's a successful program.
We're trying to make it that way.
Yeah. Anything else from anyone? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the last position is a traffic safety commissioner, and Ron Gilliam also applied for that, and as we mentioned earlier, he and his wife are on their trip right now. So if everyone is comfortable, I think we should fill out our ballots and turn them in and get this taken care of. Oh, shoot. That's no problem. Okay, thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you. I'm not used to my office. I forgot to sign it.
I almost said, don't forget to sign. No worries, I didn't really know.
Okay.
I might not have
Great. Thank you. Okay, very well.
So I have a question while I'm tallying the ballots. We can pass, these are your original oaths, and Pete has signed his part. So I'll pass them around and if the appropriate people would sign the appropriate oath and return them. So I
Wow,
can
we
get
are-
copies.
We are
All right,
really moving
we'll
tonight.
multitask. I love it.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
I've got two.
And I assume you want these back after they're signed?
I actually do. You will get the originals, but I want to make a copy of the
Right.
whole execute ones.
Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is reports of officers, boards, or standing committees. Do we have anyone who's going to make a report? Yes. Madison? Yes.
Thank you. Dean Robinson, Chairman of the Depoe Bay Salmon Council. My brother Pogo kind of gave you a little bit of background. If any of the council people would like some more background, be happy to tell you about the project. What I came to say is that finally, we're moving forward in the last piece of the floating docks and dock ends up the reservoir for raising the fish. In the agreement with the city is they're going to do 1/3 upfront money for the materials for this dock construction. What they've got to get in this dock construction is the repaired the reservoir, they got rid of the old structures. This floating dock in conjunction with the salmon project is also provides access to their water intake tower out in the middle of the reservoir. So it's kind of a win-win situation there. I feel the bid for doing that work was, reading it correctly, was $26,530, of which the city has to pay 1/3 of, which is $843. I think it's coming out. The overall project, if we have the right piece of paper, will end up being around $28,500 with in-kind services. And the rest of the money, a lot of the funding, $22,000, got that. Somewhere in there is the ODF and WRE, right?
Yes, and that's, I believe, 18,000 some, and then there's 10,000 from the city.
Yeah.
And then the incline on top.
And the impact surface, I'm sorry I didn't get all my math right, I mentioned, I had it in a file and I don't find it on my computer.
That's okay.
So it kind of gave me a heads up on that, that's what's going on. Again, we received 20,000 eggs this year, and the mortality was pretty low, so I think it would probably be in the, probably 18,000 salmon fry up there right now. And I would like to say to councils and mayors and past, present, future, you know, the support that we receive from you people is outstanding. You know. It's outstanding that the community gets so much support. You know. It's, we think the project started in 1981. And you know that over those years we've incubated well over 1 million eggs. And as far as Mr. Grant was asking about the return, the thing to remember is these are thin-clipped coho salmon, and they're designed to go out in the sport fishery. And when we get discouraging return into the creek, the biologists remind us those fish were designed to be caught, and we might have ended up on somebody's dinner. And, you know, again, the goals of the Salmon Enhancement Project are social, economic, and education. And we work in conjunction with Neighbors for Kids pretty regularly. When we get these new structures up there, we'll be able to take them up, have them feed fish, sort out eggs. The last few years, we've not been able to do that because of so many safety issues up there on the docks, but we're back and we're safe and pretty strong.
That's great. And while you're busy thanking council, I think we would like to thank you. You've been doing this a lot of years, Beanie, and you deserve a lot of credit. You come back from Alaska. Well, now you're here, but all those years you came back and you and your brothers just really made this program what it is. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Karen. I've got to add that there was a lot of people who did that. I just happened to be the chairman by default.
You know how that goes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lauren, I think you had a report?
I did. I forget the exact date. It was in December, Thursday, second Thursday in December. I attended an Ocean Policy Advisory Council meeting. The primary topics for discussion were the continuing revisions to the territorial sea plan, which would take out, those revisions have been in a work in progress for over 5 years. So it would take a while to bring you up to speed on exactly what all that is. The other thing that was touched on briefly was the renewed interest in the PMEC site, which off the top of my head, I can't tell you what that acronym stands for, but that's an area off Newport that has been set aside by the commercial fishing industry, the sports industry, or the sports fishermen, and the scientific community for testing of wave energy equipment that has yet to have a trial by fire or water, and has the capability of being connected shoreside, so they can actually measure the product from it. But other than that, just the usual housekeeping stuff that went on at the OPAC meeting, and trying to get new members in, and as old members have to go do other things. One of the big losses was Susan Morgan, who was county commissioner from, I forget which county, Coos County. At any rate, she served 8 years and did not run for re-election, so she was not able to continue in her position on OPAC. But it's very difficult to replace people like that that have put in that kind of time and have that kind of background. And it was at the event center in Florence, which is always a nice venue to have a meeting, and the weather was garbage, and we drove home.
Thank you. Okay. Are there any other reports or committees that want to report? Nope. All right. The next item on the agenda is public comments. Does anyone out there have anything they would like to say? This is your moment. That means no, I assume. Okay, maybe next time. We'll move on then to unfinished business, and the item there is the recruitment for a new city recorder. We got 11 applications. Oh, yes.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to recuse myself from this part of the session due to
Yes.
conflicts.
Yes, that's absolutely fine, I can understand.
Okay.
You're welcome. We will let you know when this discussion is complete. Thank you. Okay, we had 11 applicants. So the next step is to review those 11 applications in detail and make some decisions about, are there people we want to interview, how many do we want to interview, that sort of thing. And I don't know if the council has thought about this next step, but I have. And I'd like to recommend that we work for this portion as a committee of the whole, and that every counselor review all 11 applicants. Typically in this situation, we would make up a form. Typically there is a form that you fill out that goes with each application, and you also can make your own notes on it. And unfortunately that form does not exist, but there are many samples, and we can make up a form by the time we've got 11 sets of the, and then each of us would review all of the applications, and then your reviews would get turned in to the personnel officer, which I learned yesterday, or no, I guess I learned that whenever I learned it, is me. And then I would take your forms, and I will put them all together in some kind of a document which gives us an outline of how council reacted to each of the 11 applications, and then I would come back to full council with a recommendation for who to interview and who to not interview, and I would say why I made that decision. I would also think it would be helpful if we put down on paper a process from now until the end of the recruitment, until the moment when we're ready to make an offer. And if council agrees with all of that, then we can start moving forward. Open for discussion. Yes?
So, I'm down with full council reviewing all the applicants. But for the lack of some kind of review for rating each applicant, some kind of metric that we can mark a 1 or 5, like you said, those things might exist. I think that we would be well served if we had that going in.
Yeah, that's what I said. By the time you get your copies,
Okay.
there will be a document for you to use.
Right, I just want to make that clear
Yeah.
then. So, and that's all.
Okay, good. Debbie?
Okay, is there a finalized job description that's been updated, and does it match what Hurry does?
The existing job description is what was made available to applicants, potential applicants. And yeah, it didn't need to be updated.
Okay.
It is what she does, and if you think it will be helpful, why don't we supply each counselor along with all of the applicant packages, a copy of the job description,
Okay.
in case you don't
So
already
the
have
job
it.
description and the rating sheet
Yes.
and a copy of each.
Of each application.
Is the document, the form for evaluation and the applications, are those going to be available to council members that we may review those, have those in our possession before the next council meeting so that we can be up to speed on that and be able to move forward? Or is this something that we have to wait on until the next council meeting?
Oh, no, I would think within a week you can have them in your boxes.
Okay.
Well, Perry, is that reasonable?
I think within a week is very
Okay.
reasonable, yes.
I mean, there's a workload issue too. Just
Certainly.
copying those 11 packages is massive. I've seen the pile, so.
And are we treating the list of applicants as confidential?
Yes,
Since
for the
we're,
moment,
okay,
because there is information in each of those applications that is confidential information.
well, I was also thinking if they work for a local jurisdiction, sometimes things get reported in the paper who the applicants are, and that could be a little embarrassing if
Yeah,
they weren't
no.
selected.
That's correct. We are not.
Yeah, I mean, after we do our own evaluation, for us to come together and discuss it, it would be an executive
It would be
session.
an executive
Okay.
session, no question. So is everyone comfortable with that as a way to move forward? Can I hear a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion that we move forward on mayor's directions, that we, all the council review all of the applications, that we will, by the time that we get them in our box, we'll have a form that we can, an evaluation form for each of the applications, and that we will get together on a executive session based upon, that's unknown at this point.
Well, that's unknown because what I like is if we can set a time schedule based on when the packages go into your boxes. And then maybe everybody has a week to review, if you think that's enough time. Because I know you all have, most of you have other jobs that you have to spend some time with. But just for discussion's sake, a week to review, and then turn them in, and then I get a week to review your reviews. I hope that's enough time, because that's a big job. This is a process I'm familiar with because we have used it at the fire district, and we used it at the Attorney General's office back in Pennsylvania. So the process, it's not new, and it's going to take more time than we think it is today. So we'll aim for having the packages in your box within 7 days. And once you look at the packages, if you cannot have them back to me 7 days after that, which would be the day of the next, it would be the day of the next council meeting, when they would all come back to me. If that's going to be a problem for anyone, they should give me a call and let me know, and we'll try to be flexible, but we can't be too flexible. Because this has gone on a long time, and we do need to really. Okay, so It's been moved.
Second.
Okay, and seconded.
Is that clear enough?
Yes, it was for me. Was it for the people I gave it?
Yeah. Okay, any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Goddard,
Yes.
Left,
Yes?
Bates? Yes.
Grant,
Aye.
Callender,
Yes.
Wiseman. Oh, sorry. Recuse. No.
Okay, would someone like to, yes, you want to have Jeff return? Thank you, Emma. Okay.
Should have elected the council president before he came back.
That would be funny.
Just tell him.
Yeah, how,
When he comes in.
In your absence, we elected you council president. Okay. The next item on the agenda is new business, and it's to elect a council president, followed by doing councilor assignments. I would like the council to consider postponing these two items for the next meeting, when we will have in our hands applications for the position that's still open.
If that takes a motion to table it, I don't think it does. We can table it till next meeting.
You're talking about both agenda items, is that
Both
correct?
agenda items, yes. I'm sort of lumping them together.
Is that, will you lump in your motion?
Okay.
I think what he said was he didn't think we needed a
Does
motion,
the
is that?
mayor have the ability to table it,
Well,
objection?
if there's no objection, I think so.
Is there no objection?
No
Good, then
objection.
we'll table this item till the next meeting. Okay. Next on the agenda is correspondence.
I have no correspondence items to present to you this evening. But Mayor, before we go forward, when you're ready for the tally of the votes on the appointments to the commissions, I have that completed, just to let you know.
Okay, well, the next item up is city staff report, so why don't we do this before we do the staff report, so that
Okay.
that'll be finished.
All righty. So, the vote is unanimous to appoint Michael Granite to position number 3 on the Parks Commission, Ron Gillum to position number 6 on the Parks Commission, Robert Hickerson to position number 7, Parks Commission, Jeff Spear to position number 3 on the Planning Commission, Bogo Robinson to position number 2 on salmon enhancement, and Ron Gillum to position number 1 on traffic safety, and the vote was unanimous. So a motion to accept the tally of votes and so appoint would be in order.
Do I hear such a
I
motion?
make a motion to accept the tally.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Clef,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Grant,
Aye.
Callender,
Yes.
Wiseman,
Yes.
Goddard.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, the next item is city staff report. Who's going first?
I can go very quickly. This will be quickly. In your packet, you have kind of a thick little thing with a memo from me dated December 29th. And the information attached is for you to get up to speed or re-up to speed on the Lightspeed Networks, Inc. franchise agreement issue. We are about at the point where Pete will bring a final draft to you. We've had a draft and it went to that company and that company loved it. I think we're ready to come back to the council to review it and any changes, and then we can start the ordinance adoption process that would be the agreement that we would enter into. So that's why you're having this information tonight, simply for that. Read through it. We can start scheduling. I don't know when we can have Pete come and meet with you in an executive session to go over the agreement to finalize it before we start the ordinance adoption process, but
Now, this was started before we took office, obviously, so, so your packets have a little more detail than they might normally, so to help those of us who have just taken our seats to understand what this is all about. And I have the advantage of having discussed it with Perry beforehand. We're not being asked to take any action tonight or to even have a discussion about it. We can put it on the agenda for discussion at the next meeting.
the next meeting, the January 17th meeting is getting quite busy. Plus, you're gonna have an urban renewal meeting that same night. I would suggest that you schedule this for your first meeting in February.
There's no urgency about this, is there?
I
None at all?
don't think so.
Okay. Is the council comfortable with that? Yes. Okay.
Okay, so
Done.
we'll tentatively schedule an executive session, if Pete's schedule allows, for the February,
January 31st?
no, it'll be whatever the first Tuesday in February is. I don't know the first Seventh. Okay,
17.
thank you. That's all I have to report.
Wow, you're easy tonight. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna get started with, there's a packet that's regarding some property and ordinance violations. And this is the property that the new council should probably get familiar with, and the other councilors are already aware of it. And this has been an ongoing issue across the street at the Burrowwood building, and then the lot that is just to the south of it. There's a lot of garbage, dilapidated vehicles, people living in campers and trailers, and multiple ordinance violations on lot 8400, and then the Burrowwood is tax lot 8200. What's kind of new in this is the Lincoln County building inspector has asked the city to take the building owner, actually have the legal department write them a letter stating that there's been non-compliance with a multitude of building code violations. So before we were really only dealing with code violations at the lot to the south because of the campers and stuff, and that's been an ongoing issue with the property owner making a deal with the guy that's going to buy it, which is the owner of the Burrowwood. That fell through, so there was some time given for them to straighten that out. That failed, and so we're kind of back to square one with both lots now. And also, there's a new player in this, and that's the state fire marshal. So in this packet, kind of some of the explanations of the background in it. And at this point, I'm working with that call, who's one of Pete's lawyers, and he and I are working on a letter to send to Mr. Martin, who owns the Burrowwood building. And he's going to receive a letter stating that he needs to be in compliance with Lincoln County, the state fire marshal, the city of Depoe Bay, and also the multitude of stuff that's going on with that he needs to have. Or we're also going to have Mr. Crandall, who's the owner of the lot to the south, have Mr. Martin remove all his stuff from his lot to include that lot, or he'll be fined $500 a day. It's already been approved by the park council. So we just need to move forward with the southern lot and then get an original letter out to Mr. Martin. As far as
Is
the
there some
building
action we should take now, or should we wait till later?
Executive session would probably be appropriate for me to
Okay.
give you the rundown.
Okay.
Yeah, we could get all our ducks in a row as far as
Okay.
what
And that's,
issues are what.
yeah, and that's where we go next, right?
Yeah, so this was just kind of a packet put together to get everybody up to speed on that. But, yeah, the executive session would be great, and we can get that on board. But he's going to be leaving, so.
I have a long story anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the second item I have is we're moving forward with engineering on schoolhouse intersection. We received an SCA grant for 2017, I got a grant to redo the intersection out front here. And it was, we tried for the last 3 years and had failed, but this year we got the grant, and I'm gonna move forward with engineering. You know, it's already January, I'm gonna dive right into it and start going out for RFP for engineering on this. Get this going, it's gonna make this a safe area finally, because we're gonna try to integrate the starting of sidewalks going down to the harbor, so that it's not pedestrians out in the road, and you know, try to handle some of the boat trailer traffic, and there's a multitude of problems with this intersection. So that's moving forward. Water main on Coast Avenue, the line is complete, it's intact, all the service lines are tied to each home. We're down to just the fire hall, and the tying in the fire hall, but the Goddard building, the Monset line, and the channel house are all tied into the new water main, and it's all been inspected, disinfected, approved from lab samples. Everything is just positive on everything, is just going forward. Inclement weather slowed it down a little bit. There's some driving issues on Coast, but they've been keeping up with, they were able to asphalt and fill in some of the voids. It was pretty treacherous there for a while. I don't know if any folks got a chance to drive down Coast in the last month. It's pretty bad. But we're finally seeing light at the end of the tunnel on that, and it's been great to work with Devil's Lake Rock. They seem to go the extra, you know, lend a hand to folks and communicate real well. So far so good. This has been a great project. And
You should know that a couple of people who live along the coast have talked to me in the last couple of weeks and said nothing but good things, not only about city staff, but about the contractors as well. So you should pass that on.
yeah, it's tough to do a project in a small town with this time of year. The weather we have is terrible, so working out in pouring rain is kind of difficult to move forward. It's usually backwards and then a few steps forward. So also the Little Oak Cove is replacing all their underground power mains. And they started last year by just a portion of the start of Little Oak Cove down Tipton Obulary, but this year they're running a main, like a 6-inch main feeder through all of Little Oak Cove and down to Walking Woods, and it's going to encase probably 90% of the power that runs into Little Oak Cove in their homes. So back in the day when they first developed Little Oak Cove, the lines were direct burial, and they're going through now putting everything in conduits and upgrading the lines, and so it's a big project for PUD. They've had a lot of trouble out there in the past few years. So a lot of power outages and a lot of problems with power sources and things like that. So that's kind of tricky because the water mains and the sewer lines, and there's pressure sewer out there, and gas, and everything's buried in Little Oak Cove. There's no telephone poles, and everything's underground. So it's hard to fit something else in there when everything else is already there. So they're having a tough time. It's slow but sure. But we have to be there, and our crew's got to be on our toes to make sure they don't hit any water lines or sewer pressure lines. That tends to be the worst. So it's the hardest to fix, and yeah, I could go on that one. But it's moving forward, and just want to let the council know that that's probably a quarter of the way through. So it's probably going to be February, March before we get to the end of that tunnel. Last thing I got is wastewater biosolids. This is the sludge. This is the final end of the process in the wastewater facility. So after treatment, the effluent that's clean and disinfected goes, it's just like water. It looks like just clear, clean water goes into the ocean. Now what's left is sludge, and the sludge is usually rendered down and put on farmlands and fields in Siletz. And that's kind of coming to an end. DEQ's been kind of giving us red flags. Lincoln City's already taken the option to build their own source that what it does is it squeezes the sludge into capes, and they haul that to their landfills, or any landfill, I guess. But Depoe Bay is kind of going down that road now, so We could probably use the farmlands for the next year, maybe two, but it's getting tighter and tighter. So Gary Walls, our wastewater plant operator, is thoroughly looking into, there's this year, the budget committee approved the engineering, but we're going kind of in-house on that. We're gonna look into our own options to put in our own rendering, where we can have our own system to squeeze the sludge and have our own outbuilding and try to do this in-house to save the city some money.
And council ought to be aware that this will be a very expensive
Yeah.
project, and it's not one we can put off for very long, if we can put it off at all, because DEQ is really coming down hard on cities now.
Yeah.
And I guess we've been very lucky so far, because we're a small town on the edge of nowhere, and so we get caught last, but that time is coming, and we are gonna have to figure out a way to pay for it. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking about what, $250,000?
Not a quarter, but yeah, for the whole system and the hauling, and there's a lot of red tape involved, but Newport's still able to not spread on, they use the aeronautic field, they use the airport, and then they also have a burner in Newport where they burn it and make ash, and there's different processes for this. But the basic way that like Lincoln City's moving forward with is probably try to copy and do a similar system to what they're doing, but more on the Depoe Bay side.
Could we rent time on their system?
It's very possible to, yes,
I mean,
in the meantime, utilize their system as we could process our stuff to a certain point and then utilize theirs.
So you're looking at all of that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's lots of options for this.
By the way, I sound really well educated on this. I am not. I learned it all this morning from the guys at the sewer plant.
Yeah.
So,
The council's welcome to visit. We'll set up, maybe this spring, we'll set up where we can go take the counselors to the wastewater plant along with to the water treatment plant, harbor, and all that's great. It's educational and it's decision making, so I've never had a negative on
well,
any of these
actually, I was
tours.
going to suggest that during council comments,
Oh,
that
sure.
we think about going as a group on a tour of all the city facilities, because I'm not sure that's really been. And it would be good for us to go together, because we could also get to know each other better, too.
Yeah, ask questions.
Yeah. Okay, but we'll discuss that in the
Okay.
council comments.
Just that, it's not just the city of Depoe Bay, it's the whole water district, which is
Right.
Atlantic Beach up to,
Right.
far north to.
Yeah, our wastewater does run from Salishan south. We treat all their sewers, so yeah,
So it affects our district.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely. And they have to be on board with us, so a lot of communication within the district.
Yeah. Good.
Is it safe to assume also that this coming from on high, the EPA,
Yeah,
is coming as an unfunded mandate?
most likely, yeah. But there is options. We're gonna look into a lot of, we'll look under every option we can to see if there is funding available. Well, that's it. I have a head cold. Sorry about communication tonight.
Okay, you're doing great. You're doing great.
That's about it for my report.
Okay, we are in a moment going to recess to executive session, and that means that we will have to be asking all of you to leave the room. I'm not sure how long executive session will be. We will come back to council. That it may be that we'll only be adjourning, it may be that we'll take some action, but it isn't likely that there's going to be anything else educational for any of our wonderful citizens. So I wanted you to know that, and I wanted to say thank you for coming out. And we hope that we will see you at more than just this meeting. It's really wonderful to have you with us. Well, I know you guys leave town, that's not fair. Okay, the city council will now meet in executive session pursuant to ORS 192.662H to consult with council concerning the legal rights and duties of a public body with regard to current